Good evening. I'm Darrell Presley, Chief Communications Officer for Prince George's County Public Schools, and I would like to welcome you to the September 28th Board of Education meeting. Tonight's meeting will begin with a special presentation for Riverdale Elementary School students. These students worked alongside art teacher Liza Linder to create the spectacular 3-panel mosaic that is on display here tonight. The mosaic will also accompany the board to the Maryland Association of Boards of Education conference this week. Discussion items on tonight's agenda include an end-of-the-year report from the Disability Issues Advisory Board and an update on the Talented and Gifted program in Prince George's County Public Schools. All 4 items on the consent agenda focus on grants reporting and a summary of grant applications. As second readers under unfinished business, the board will hear the 2010 Comprehensive Maintenance Plan and the Capital Improvement Program for funding years 2010 through 2017, which outlines major repairs, renovations, additions, and new school construction projects. As new business, the board will hear as first readers the new 2010 Bridge to Excellence Master Plan and a revision of the superintendent's recommendation on repurposing schools that were closed due to the Phase 1 boundary review. And now, the September 28th board meeting is about to begin.
Thank you, Mr. Presley. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Prince George's County Board of Education meeting for September 28, 2010. Before I begin, please turn off your wireless communications as they tend to interfere with the taping of the meeting. Mr. Johnson, would you please lead us in the board prayer and the Pledge of Allegiance?
O God, we pray to administer that which is just in all educational policies, being ever mindful of your guidance. Stir us to action with love, wisdom, and understanding. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Ms. Laban, call the roll, please.
Ms. Beck?
Present.
Ms. Fletcher?
Present.
Ms. Iliff?
Here.
Mr. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Johnson?
Present.
Ms. Waller?
Present.
Mr. Harris?
Present.
Dr. Watson?
Present.
Ms. Jacobs?
Here. Thank you, Ms. Laban. Colleagues, prior to adoption of the agenda, please note the following change. Under item 10.2, new business has been added as a first reader. And the chair recognizes Dr. Height.
Thank you, Madam Chair. And I would also like to withdraw from the agenda the report on a Talented and Gifted program.
Thank you, Dr. Height. Colleagues, the changes as it stands is an addition of 10.2 under new business as a first reader, and Dr. Height is recommending to pull the tag update. Dr. Height, can you give us a little bit more information in terms of follow-up on that item?
Yes, Madam Chair. There's some other information that we would like to present to the board that's not included in that report, and so we would like to bring that report back at a later date when we have that information.
Thank you, Dr. Height. Colleagues, we will ensure that that is followed up at our agenda-setting meeting. Is there a motion to approve and adopt the agenda as amended? Thank you, Ms. Fletcher. Thank you, Ms. Iliff. It's been properly moved and second that we adopt the board meeting agenda for September 28, 2010. All in favor? Aye. Any objections or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. Colleagues, may I please have a motion to approve the board meeting minutes for August 26, 2010?
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Johnson. Thank you, Ms. Waller. It's been properly moved that we approve the board meeting agenda meeting minutes, for August the 26, 2010. All in favor?
Aye.
Any objections or abstentions? Seeing none, the motion passed. At this time, we will have a news break entitled Art in Public Places, actually presented by Ms. Donna Hathaway Beck. Ms. Beck.
Thank you.
This evening, instead of our traditional news break, we are celebrating an art initiative in our own schools. We'll wait for the PowerPoint. The mosaic panels that you will see at Berwyn Heights Elementary School, University Park, Seat Pleasant, Riverdale, and assistants at Greenbelt Middle School are the vision of art instructor Liza Linder, enthusiastically supported by principals and created by the collaborative efforts and talents of our students, teachers, and community. These mosaics are actually artist drawings that were converted onto concrete panels that are adhered to the building walls. Some of them are indoors, as you can see, and some are outdoors, so that when you're driving past them, they literally speak to you as art should. This one was just put up a few months ago on the front of University Park. I think what's important to note is that not just the teacher and the students created them, but they were created with assistance from members of the community invited to come in and add pieces to this mosaic. And I made that purple dress. So every time I drive by Riverdale, it just grabs me. At this time, I take great pleasure in introducing art instructor Liza Linder, Principal Carol Cantu, and student artists from Riverdale Elementary. Stand right by your mosaics, okay? Which one did you help? Last spring, I was invited to participate on a committee with members from the Maryland Association of Boards of Education. My task was to create thank you note cards for our statewide conference. I immediately thought of the beautiful mosaic panels and note cards created by our students at Seat Pleasant Elementary. So, working with Miss Linder, where is she? Oh, right. Working with Miss Linder and Miss Cantu, her principal, these student artists designed the artwork that was used to create the mosaic panels that you see next to them. The panels were then taken and photographed and turned into note cards. Our student artists are Omar Tangara, Briley Salgato Castellan, Braley, and Jennifer, who has moved, no, Jennifer, great, you came back. Jennifer Salvidra Herrera, Arnold Galvin, Jason Lucero, Albalaro Cortez Reyes, and Natalie Quinones, who is absent today. I take great pleasure presenting each student with a $25 gift card to Borders and a certificate from Maryland Board of Education for their work on this project. And I would also like to express my sincere appreciation to Ms. Linder, who, as much as she works during the day on these projects, did not miss a beat when I came to her and said, "Can you help me show off our art projects at the statewide level?" I'd like to offer Ms. Cantu.
I just want to say that I have already let these students and Ms. Linder know how proud I am of them. But I want to tell them again, in the presence of this illustrious, prestigious group gathered to honor you, I am so proud of what you have done and how you make Riverdale look so good. Thank you so much for all of this work, and thank you, Ms. Donna Hathaway-Beck, for giving us this privilege to shine. And when we shine, Prince George's County shines.
Oh, wait. 1 second. Okay, let's take one picture before Dr. Height.
Maybe if everybody moves to go, then I want to see everyone's face.
Before we leave, can I ask our students to give copies of the note cards that were created to each member of our Board of Education? These cards being presented to our board members are also being presented to state board members throughout Maryland. These panels will be on display at the upcoming conference, and we have just learned that these panels have been invited to be displayed at National Harbor for a regional conference involving 7 states. Then they will return home to the Sasser building to be on display. While we cannot forget our difficult financial environment, it is with great pride that we are able to continue to provide exceptional art instruction and experiences for our students and their families. Art is indeed alive in Prince George's County.
So you didn't bring such good parents. We have those at school. Oh, I gave her another box. Okay.
Done.
Thank you, Ms. Beck. Clearly, students who are performing at these levels do make our school system shine, and we want to make sure that everybody knows that we have some fabulous students in Prince George's County. Students, thank you again for this wonderful work that you did. Prince George's County celebrated the groundbreaking for the new Greenbelt Middle School, which is scheduled to be completed in the year 2012. This will be the third Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design LEED school in Prince George's County Public Schools. A portion of the old school will be renovated, modernized, and maintained as a facility for learning and community access. I think it's also worthy to note that it took a number of years to get this project finally where it is today, so we're pleased to have that happen. Thank you, Ms. Johnson, for officiating that groundbreaking ceremony. The annual Prince George's County Public School High School Marching Band Showcase will be held at High Point High School on Wednesday, October the 13th from 5:30 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. Please join us to cheer on marching bands representing 10 to 13 high schools as they take part in a non-competitive exhibition that is also open to the public. Meeting an NFL football player would usually be exciting enough, but for Riverdale Elementary School students, it was also a chance to meet one of their own. The school's gym became a sea of purple and black jerseys as students were visited by one of the school's most famous alumni, Baltimore Ravens offensive tackle Gerard Gaither. Gaither attended the school between 1993 and 1996. God, that makes me feel really old. He spoke to students about the importance of hard work, nutrition, and following their dreams. He also said that his main goal is to visit the school was to let the students know that anything is possible. Thank you, Mr. Gaither, for visiting Riverdale Elementary School. I want to give you some updated upcoming events for board meetings. On October 7th at 7 p.m., we will be having the 2012 operating budget public hearing. October 14th at 6 p.m., there will be a board meeting, and the topic is student achievement. October 14th board meeting, the topic is student achievement. It will be at 6 p.m. instead of our usual 7 p.m. That particular board meeting was originally scheduled as a day meeting, so it's been changed to 6 p.m. to make sure that everyone can get here to talk about student achievement. On October 20th at 5 p.m., we'll have our Finance, Audit, and Budget and Capital Improvement Program meeting. October 28th at 7:05 is another board meeting. All persons who are interested in speaking at board meetings, you must register with the board office. It should be within 2 hours of the actual scheduled time of the meeting. The number to call is 301-952-6115. Asking for a moment of silence for Miss Annie R. Hood, who is my dear aunt who passed and very special to my family. Thank you for that moment of silence. Our students, the Oxon Hill High School Choir has been selected to perform at the Council of Urban Boards of Education. This conference this year will be held in Baltimore. It's October 2nd at the Renaissance Harbor Place Hotel. Congratulations to the choir and its director, Mr. Emery Andrews. This is a big deal. If you can get there, please come and support our Oxon Hill High School Choir. At this time, I want to ask Mr. William Blake, the band director for Gwynn Park High School, to please come forward with a couple of students and make a presentation. Mr. Lake? Oh, there you are.
And I'm Joseph Marcellus.
And with us today, we have our lovely principal, Ms. Malone, our wonderful administrator, Ms. Edwards, and Superior Band Director, Mr. Lake. On behalf of the Gwynn Park High School Marching Band, we would like to say thank you for your financial blessings provided for our school uniforms.
The opportunity to wear our uniforms for our senior year, and for some of us the first time ever, has been a really rewarding experience. We would like to thank you for our parents, our community, and especially you all for your support and all the things you have done for us. It has really helped in our belief, our spirit, and our marching.
So in short, we would like to say thank you so very much.
And as a token of our appreciation, we would just like to give you this. Band, let's go!
Awesome. And that is why we do our work, because of our students. Let's give them another round of applause. And Ms. Waller?
May I have a point of personal privilege, please? On Sunday, we were honored, I don't believe we mentioned, we were at the Kennedy Center for our honors, choruses, and orchestra, and it was the 35th celebration for Prince George's County Schools to participate. Our students from the elementary level all the way up to high school was extraordinary. And then on top of that, they pulled in a reunion students that have been with them down through the years. Some of them are teachers, and we would like to say thank you to our instrumental department and everybody. I don't want to leave anybody's name out, but I know Miss Kathy Rutherford is back there. Let's give her a big hand, and all of our wonderful young people. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
You're very welcome. So they're going to get 3 mentions at least. You just gave them 1, and certainly it's listed in my report to give them the honors, and it was a fabulous program. Thank you so much. It was really great. At this time, Dr. Height, I'm going to turn it over to you for the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I will be the one that provides the 3rd recognition, Ms. Waller. And just as you saw the tremendous talents of our students from Riverdale, the talented marching band members from Gwynn Park, we had the opportunity to observe some very talented young people Sunday at the 35th annual Edward M. Fellogy Honors Concert at the Kennedy Center. And one thing that's unique about that performance is, of the 39 years that the Kennedy Center has been in existence, Prince George's County students has performed 35 of those 39 years. And we were treated to the 35th anniversary on Sunday, and as Ms. Waller just gave some accolades to Ms. Kathy Rutherford, and I know Kathy was here, I would also like to acknowledge Ms. Judith Hawkins and Ms. Anita Lambert, who also pulled that program together. Thank you so much for your work. And it was the honors band, the honors chorus, and the honors orchestra from all levels of the school system. It was quite a concert that was enjoyed by all who were present that day. I would also like to acknowledge that as part of the Prince George's County Board of Education's Naming October Parent Engagement Month, there are a number of events I'd like to share with you this evening that showcase our goals to help partner with parents and families to improve student achievement. These events will provide parents and families with opportunities to learn more about educational opportunities and initiatives in Prince George's County Public Schools. First, parents, staff, students, and families are invited to join the Maryland State Department of Education, the Maryland Parent-Teacher Association, and the Maryland Parental Information and Resource Center for the kickoff of Maryland's second annual Family Engagement Month celebration on October 1st at 10 a.m. at G. James Golson Middle School. This free event will include the announcement of the Governor's proclamation designating October as Maryland Family Engagement Month. The event will feature Dr. Nancy Grasmick, State Superintendent of Schools, myself, Sam Macer, the President of the Maryland PTA, Susan Schaefer, Executive Director of the Maryland Parent Information Resource Center, parents and students from across the state. Also, in partnership with the Prince George's County PTA Council, Prince George's County Public Schools will sponsor a parent and youth conference on October 2nd at 8:30 a.m. at Eleanor Roosevelt High School. The theme for the conference is Keeping Our Eyes on the Prize, Our Youth. This free conference will feature presentations and panel discussions by representatives from the National PTA, the National Education Association, the Office of the State's Attorney, Prince George's County Police Department, and others. Sessions and workshops for both parents and youth will include information on parent involvement, internet safety, bullying, and academic achievement. There are also a number of fun learning experiences for families to enjoy this month. The Howard B. Owens Science Center will host a planetarium program for families on October 8th at 7:30 p.m. and a family science night on October 22nd at 6 p.m. Science Night will feature hands-on science and math demonstrations, a planetarium show, and opportunities to view the night sky through a telescope. On the technology front, this school year, we will offer Google Apps for Education as a free service to students. Students will be able to communicate with others on the Prince George's County Public Schools network, including peers, teachers, and administrative staff. Students will not, however, be able to send or receive email to users on other networks such as Verizon or Comcast. The Google Apps student rollout began this week with high school students and will continue through December. In the spring, the school system will begin offering the same services to middle school students. I'd also like to take this opportunity to recognize our students and staff for their recent accomplishments. First, Dr. Judith White, principal of Dodge Park Elementary School, has been selected as a member of the first class of school administrators to participate in the new National Board Certification Program for principals. Congratulations to Dr. White on her selection for this exciting program. 4 talented student artists from Prince George's County were selected to participate in the U.S. Department of Education's Student Art Exhibit Program that opened on September 20th in Washington, D.C. Congratulations to Laurel High School student Orrin Webb and 3 high school students from Suitland Visual and Performing Arts, that program. Shannara Herndon, Jessica Williams, and Shatoni Williams, who joined just 32 other students from across the state for this honor. And last but certainly not least, Whitehall Elementary School students were the recipients of a $5,000 grant award from Bounty. Students were recently visited by Bounty's Make a Masterpiece bus, an experimental art studio on wheels, and presented with a ceremonial big check. The funds will be used to upgrade the school's art room. Congratulations to all of our students and to all of our staff. And Madam Chair, this concludes my remarks this evening.
Thank you so much, Dr. Haight, for those remarks. Colleagues, we are at the point of public comment on agenda items. And according to our newly revised board policy, 8345, public comment and Board of Education member participation at Board of Education meetings, persons who sign up to speak will actually be addressed or called in accordance with the agenda item that you have selected. Now, I know that Dr. Haight requested and the board approved to move the tag update from the agenda, but Mr. Robert Johnson, you certainly didn't know that. If you want to still make your public comments, you may feel free to do so. Mr. Robert Johnson. Okay. Thank you. Dr. Height, the next item on the agenda is a legislative update. Just a reminder that we are in the process, the board is in the process of having our legislative representative provide the level of process so that we can plan for the session for 2011. We also have no particular agenda items for the legislative agenda, but we do encourage our constituents to engage in that process, because oftentimes a lot of the decisions that are made in Annapolis affect us, and the board generally takes positions on those issues. That leads us, Dr. Height, to the discussion items, if you would introduce those.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The first discussion item is item 6.1, and that is the Disability Advisory Board's annual report, the DAB annual report. I see that Mr. McLaughlin is here representing the DAB committee. Mr. McLaughlin, welcome.
Good evening. I'm Mike McLaughlin. I'm the chair of the Disability Issues Advisory Board. And first, I'd like to say I think every Board of Ed meeting should start with a band doing a song. That was great. 3 years ago this month, I accepted my appointment to the newly created Disability Issues Advisory Board. That advisory board was charged with providing to this Board of Education information and recommendations regarding the school system's compliance with all aspects of the Americans with Disabilities Act, or ADA. As with any new body, there was a steep learning curve as members of this advisory board went to school on the ADA law itself, as well as our school system's policies and administrative procedures related to that law. The first 2 years included a lot of information sharing and discussion among advisory board members and between those members and school system personnel who attended our monthly meetings to brief us on current policy and procedure. With the help of those interactions with system staff, we were able to clarify and update policies and procedures. But it quickly became apparent that for successful implementation of any of our recommendations, PGCPS would need a dedicated ADA compliance officer, a single staff person designated to handle requests or complaints related to ADA compliance. The recommendation for an ADA compliance officer was made in 2008 and included in our end-of-year report that year. Despite the unfortunate timing of the economic downturn and its continuing budget implications for our school system, the superintendent wisely included an ADA compliance officer in last year's budget proposal, and you wisely approved the addition. I cannot overstate the importance of the addition of an ADA compliance officer to the PGCPS family of school system personnel. Suffice it to say that for this end-of-year report, I could simply stop there. So great has been the impact of the ADA compliance officer that the particulars really don't need to be stated. That's because most telling about the efforts of the ADA compliance officer is that the work has been carried out effectively and expeditiously without most of you even being aware of it. And that is as it should be. It's exactly why the position was needed, to do what should be done and lessen the fuss and fight that typically accompanies issues of access and reasonable accommodations. The fact that the person chosen as our ADA compliance officer, Elizabeth Davis, is knowledgeable, personable, and absolutely driven to be effective in the position is icing on the cake. For this report, however, I will detail some of the particulars accomplished by this advisory board. But before I do, I want to also recognize the impact of the previous chair, Marcy Canavan. Marcy was not only instrumental in the very existence of the Disability Issues Advisory Board, she also provided the no-nonsense leadership that was necessary to ensure its continuation and was the driving force behind the recommendation for the ADA compliance officer. So here's what has been accomplished by this advisory board on ADA issues this year. And I think this thing is just forward and backward. Let's try it. Maybe? Or are you running it? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, just hit number one there. Of course, we advocated for the hiring of a dedicated ADA compliance officer. We initiated projects that improve personnel practices and employment opportunities for persons with disabilities that will facilitate their representation at all levels within the school system. This included recruitment at Gallaudet University, improved job announcements whereby potential employees are informed that accommodations are available, and posting of the Notice under Americans with Disabilities Act in all schools and offices. We monitored accessibility issues such as accessible parking, directional signs, accessible bathrooms, chair lifts, automatic door openers, etc., at school and office sites to ensure corrective actions occurred within reasonable timeframes. Sites monitored include Glenridge Elementary, Seat Pleasant Elementary, Henry Ferguson Elementary, Greenbelt Elementary, Spring Hill Lake Elementary, Brandywine Elementary, Oxon Hill Middle, Friendly High School, Oxon Hill High School,